In this video, we're going to explain how they added and subtracted numbers in ancient Egypt. We'll be using a hieroglyphic numbering system throughout the video in the examples. Ancient Egyptians made use of arithmetics in order to solve everyday problems, such as dividing people into groups, or calculating what proportion of the harvest they should give to a pharaoh as payment. The Rhine and Moscow papyri store problems of this kind. These are some of the few specimens available on Egyptian mathematics. The basics of the Egyptian mathematical knowledge was addition, as the division and subtraction methods were based directly on it. The hieroglyphic used for indicating a sum was the following. The only thing to be done for calculating a sum was adding the corresponding symbols of each group. The units were added. If there were 10 or more symbols indicating one unit, they eliminated 10 and they transformed them into a tenfold symbol. The remaining unit symbols were kept equal. This technique was applied to tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, etc. The hieroglyphic used by Egyptians to indicate a subtraction is the same as the one used for the sums, but inverted horizontally. To calculate a subtraction, they only had to eliminate the numbers to subtract. This method was very similar to the functioning of a Chinese abacus. Step 1. Draw a table with 2 columns. Step 2. After doing so, write the largest multiplication factor in the left column, and in the right column always write the number 1. Step 3. Double the numbers you've written in both columns. Repeat the previous step until you obtain in the left column a number greater than the smaller multiplication factor. Step 4. When you find that value, stop multiplying. You should now mark both numbers of the previous row. Step 5. Add the marked number in the right column to the other numbers in it, in inverse order, until you get another number lower than or equal to the minor multiplication factor. Step 6. When you find it, mark both values of the row, and continue with the sums, but this time using the value you obtained from adding the previous numbers. Repeat this process until you reach the first row of the table. Step 7. When you get to the top, that is if you haven't already given up, you must sum up all the values you've marked in the right column. If you've followed every step and you haven't made any mistakes, you'll have successfully discovered the result of the multiplication just like a real Egyptian. Step 1. Draw a table of 2 columns. Step 2. In the left column, always write the number 1, and in the right column, always write the divisor. Step 3. Now, double the numbers you've written in both columns. Repeat this process until you find in the right column a number greater than the dividend. Step 4. When you find it, you should mark both values of the previous row. Step 5. Subtract the number marked in the right-hand column from the dividend. You'll have obtained a remainder. Step 6. Compare the remainder with the other numbers in the right column in inverse order until you find a value minor than or equal to it. Step 7. When you find it, mark both values on the row. Step 8. Subtract the marked value in the right-hand column from the remainder. You'll obtain a new remainder. Repeat the previous steps until you reach the top of the table. If the division is exact, when you get to the top, the remainder will be equal to 0. Step 9. Add up all the marked values from the left column. You'll have successfully calculated the result of the division.